All right, finally, we are live. This took forever to start up, but what's going on? We're back. Rangers win 2-1 over the Carolina Hurricanes in what was a wicked night for not just Ranger fans, but well, I am a Ranger fan, obviously, but for me personally, this was just a wicked night. I apologize for going live very, very late in the night and for taking forever to get going here, but my internet cut out when I got home. And if you're not following me on Twitter, go follow me there. A lot happened after the game because I was in attendance for tonight's game. And I was with C-Jet's Ice Cold Takes and pretty much C-Jet's entire family. And if you did not see the news, I will say it here because he is my co-host. He is my friend. Congratulations to Grace. Congratulations to Nick on their engagement. They got engaged at the game tonight, so we ended up getting a photo on the ice after and everything. I know I'm rambling about the game, which people are not going to care about, and people are going to tell me to shut up, but regardless, this is big news for me and for the channel too, because you guys love Nick as well. And if you don't know Nick, you should be checking out his channel, C-Jets. And huge shout out to Johnny Lazarus too, who I want to give a big thank you to for setting all of this up. I'm sure you guys know Johnny. If you don't, you should be following him on Twitter too, because I don't know what you're doing listening to me and hearing me talk, but you don't listen to Johnny Lazarus talk. But yeah, very happy for Nick. But now we'll get into the game and stuff like that. And I don't expect a lot of viewers tonight because, again, I had to do this late. I'm mad that my internet crashed too. It's just been an emotional night because right now, and the way I felt during the game, I felt numb. I still feel the numbness because do we address the elephant in the room first? So before we jump into everything, by the way, leave a like, subscribe. I'm just going to quickly go through that. But I feel numb because, as we know, Adam Fox took a knee-to-knee hit from Sebastian Aho. There was nothing called, but I'm livid. I'm livid about it. And it's just, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Because why is it, too, I want to pull up this. And I want to say this quickly. Sebastian Aho is a bitch. He's a bitch. So, Jacob Trouba in the postgame, I am very, very, very proud of what Jacob Trouba said. The only thing I wish is that he took some responsibility on the ice, but I don't know if he had the opportunity to, if he was on the ice when Aho was. But regardless, he said, this is what he said when he was asked about the hit. He said, I got to fight every time I do something, so I figure he should probably have to answer for it too, but he didn't feel that way. You're damn fucking right. You're damn fucking right. And Lafreniere challenged him all night. All night, he was on his case and trying to challenge him to a fight. Nope. Sebastian Aho wanted none of that. All night, though, Laffy was on him, and I'm watching the video clip too right now. It's nice to see how much Lafreniere was getting on him, but I wish somebody was able to drop the mitts with him or throw a big hit on him just to send a message. Like, I'm not saying play dirty back or, injure the guy. I'm not stooping to that level like some fans are on Twitter, with Canes fans in particular, where they're mad about the loss that they're making terrible jokes that I won't even mention what they were. But regardless, I won't stoop to that level. But just a hit. All I'm asking for is just a big, clean hit to send a message, or dropping the mitts, one or the other. But Aho's a little bitch. He didn't want any of that. And then Laviolette on the hit. I went in and looked at it after the period. I didn't like the hit. He's trying to get out of the way. I didn't like that hit. Neither did I, Peter. Neither did I. And it is stupid that didn't lead to a call, and now we're sitting here potentially Adam Foxless for I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say how I feel because I do not want to put it into the world, but me with injuries, I just naturally go to the worst. If you see the play, you probably know what I'm thinking, but I'm not going to say it to put it in the world because I don't want to do that. But I'm truly thinking it, and I am very, very concerned right now. And I don't know. I really don't even know what else to say other than I'm worried. I'm worried. Philip Hedl departed from this game too. He took or he didn't really take a hit. He was just more like a collision with, I think, Jesper Fast at one point in the game, and I think he got hurt on that play, but that was an upper body injury. And it sucks too that we have no update really like of significance on the injuries. All we have is they're going to be evaluated more tomorrow, I think it is. Is that what Laviolette said? They'll be evaluated more tomorrow. That means that I have a feeling they're going to be doing X-rays or MRIs on at least one of them, if not both. I'm pissed. I'm pissed because this is the same. It's the same old song and dance. The same old song and dance. Because Sammy Blay obviously wasn't as significant, but how many times are we going to deal with guys slew-footing someone on the Rangers? Let's just hope he'll be okay. Let's hope that Hedl's okay. That's where really that's where I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed off about that. The game itself, listen, I had doubts during the game. If I'm being honest, I had doubts. But at the same time, I'm not going to get too mad considering the hand that the Rangers were dealt with. But at the same time, I can't give them the benefit of the doubt entirely because you have your best defenseman get hurt in the first period, doesn't play the rest of the game. It hurt you. It hurts to play at 5 defensemen. We saw it when they were doing the cap gymnastics to get Patrick Kane last year. Then you go down another forward. So you're playing with a very short bench here. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt, sort of in that regard. But at the same time, you have too much talent that needs to be better. And the 5v5 offense needs to get going. But if I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt again, which I don't know how I should or feel, but nothing really was happening 5v5 for either team. Like, neither team was giving up 5v5. It was just kind of a game where it's two well-coached teams playing against one another in one of those chess matches. And I don't know. I mean, I felt the Canes played better, unfortunately, but there were flashes that the Rangers played good. Like, don't get me wrong. I thought the first period, they came out buzzing to start the period. I thought the first, 10 to 15 minutes were fantastic. Then at the end, they started letting up too much. The second period, thought it was inexcusable and horrendous. I did not like the second period at all. Third period, another period, they came out blazing. They came out hot. And then all of a sudden, it just died down towards the end. And they got to find a way to build on this consistently. And mainly get 5v5 offense because that's been the song and dance throughout this entire season. And it was the problem with the road trip. It was the problem with the road trip. I'm trying to have hope that they're going to improve and, the 5v5 offense will get there, but we're 10 games in and it's just the same thing thus far with the 5v5 offense. Like, that's the thing that worries me the most. But hey, I'm not going to complain because the Rangers win 6 in a row. They're 8-2-0 right now, still sitting first in the Metro. And stylistically, fine. Beat Carolina in Game 10 and then kick their ass in game, I don't know, 64 or whatever whenever they play them next. Go annihilate them then. Especially Sebastian Aho. I want to see his freaking But yeah, they're 8-2-0. This is what you call one of those 4-point nights. You take it, but let's be honest, they need to improve offensively. I really did not like I didn't like some of the plays in the neutral zone too, if I'm being honest. Like, there was a couple flashes. I think who was it? I'll scroll through here. Somebody made like a really beautiful play in the neutral zone. But regardless, yeah, the Rangers had some nice plays in the neutral zone, but for the most part, I thought they struggled way too much to break the puck through the neutral zone. And then, yeah, when they were in the offensive zone, it's not like they were awful tonight. The high danger chances were at 8 apiece. We'll know more with Valley's stats too tomorrow, but I think his includes all situations. If we do all situations, the Hurricanes had 12, the Rangers had 11. But regardless, yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know. Shots were 11-6 in the first. You take it and you run. Shots were 9-4 for Carolina in the second. Can't happen. Then shots in the third were 12-11 in favor of the Rangers. I didn't think the Rangers allowed a lot of shots. I thought they were good in their own ends, like they've been. But again, at some point, you got to be able to break the puck out better. At some point, you got to clean things up. Like Braden Schneider, he had a lot of turnovers in this game, and it led to a lot of chances for Carolina. And granted, yes, again, Carolina was peppering shots. They didn't get a lot of high danger chances, but the point is that you still need to, you can't make those type of turnovers. You just can't. But another thing I'll give them the benefit of the doubt with the first period, it's tough to evaluate when there was 4 penalties in the first period. The refs missed another one with a Trocheck high stick. I know people are mad about the Lafreniere missed call and the Goudreau one. I don't know if they're necessarily missed calls. One was on a follow through. Goudreau was low to the ice on the other. I don't know, but there was one where Trocheck right off the draw got clipped with a high stick. That I felt should have been called, but regardless, they got 5 power plays. They scored on one. Chris Kreider, not too long into the game, made it 1-0. Beautiful play, too, by Artemi Panarin on that power play. How about this, too? Panarin comes down the ice, gives it to Trocheck. Trocheck, I don't even know what happened, but it gets down low to Panarin's amount. Panarin's beautiful pass to Kreider, taps it in 1-0. Beautiful. Beautiful. The problem is that when they had power plays after, because Adam Fox was not there, I wanted to vomit. I wanted to vomit because Gustafsson, I like him as a quarterback on a power play. He's not Adam Fox. Adam Fox is just a luxury. The main problem came is when you had to have the second unit go out, and all of a sudden Keandre Miller's out there, who was barely able to walk that blue line. You had way too many pucks going over his stick. Way too many. And then you had Cooley playing center because Chytil was hurt. It was like, what am I watching? So this was a really tough game, and the Rangers battled a lot of adversity. That's the other thing that you could take as a positive. They battled adversity, and they still found a way to win the game. Jarvis, that goal that he had on the power play, inexcusable. D'Angelo and Aho with the assist. Lindgren and Trouba were on the ice for that. Puck watching. Nuh-uh. Igor, I felt, could have had that puck too. There is definitely an issue here with the high glove with Igor Shesterkin. This is a problem right now. I don't think we're talking about that, but I'm getting worried with it. I am getting worried with Igor's high glove, if I'm being honest. And then the third period, Will Coley, nobody knew the puck went in that building. Like, nobody stood up. The horn didn't even go. Even the guy controlling, I think it's Ray that clicks the button for the horn. But yeah, none of us knew in the building that went in. But Trouba, you know what? I didn't like that play, but hey, I'll say it. He was great tonight. He was great. He had a beautiful play. He had a beautiful shift for this goal. He had some nice plays in the D zone. Made some great work along the blue line. And then he ends up getting down low to the corner. Blake Wheeler, he didn't get an assist on this, but you know what? I'll give him credit for that board battle there. Trouba in the corner finds Coley in front of the net open. He taps it in 2-1. The thing I didn't like, Carolina started pressing way too much after that. That was another example of the Rangers taking their foot off the gas. But Igor had to make a couple big saves, made a nice one on Aho. He made a beautiful one earlier on in the game on Jesperi Kotkaniemi, too. He had a good one on Slavin, who somehow got a chance alone, too. Who else had like some good opportunities? But I digress. Igor was fantastic outside of that goal, you could argue. But even then, it shouldn't have happened. But Igor, I thought, had a very good game. Yeah, he made some big stops. The Rangers, though, they definitely stepped up in the last, 2 minutes or so with their neutral zone play. They clogged it up more. Goudreau, he couldn't even tap home the empty netter. I straight up laughed. Because it's like, come on, dude. What is... Whatever. I digress. But yeah. You had a couple post opportunities. Lafreniere hit a post. Trocheck had a good chance in the bumper spot too, which was nice to see on one of the power plays. You had a nice chance. I think Mika hit a post or someone else hit a post at one point in the game, or the crossbar, whatever it might have been. I think that one was on a power play too, or it might have been Panarin. Somebody hit the crossbar on a power play, but yeah, I'm not completely satisfied. You look at the numbers, it backs it up that they didn't play their best hockey, but they battled adversity. They won the game. I'm not in the mode where I could really even rant right now. Like, I'm too worried right now about Adam Fox. I'm too caught up in being worried about that I'm having a hard time even thinking about this game right now. That's truly how much this hits me to the heart, because it's your best defenseman. It's your best defenseman. In terms of highlighting guys from this game, hey, I'll give some credit to the fourth line. Their Corsi was 20% tonight instead of 0. I'll give credit to the fourth line for that one. And they had a high danger chance. Okay. Only 4 against them, but they had a high danger chance. You take that. How about Panarin, too? He was getting triple shifted at times. That was something else. But that third line looked good. That third line looked great tonight. I'm hard on Blake Wheeler. Pause. But I'm critical of Blake Wheeler. I should have phrased it like that. I shouldn't have phrased it the way I did, but regardless, I'm very critical of Blake Wheeler. He definitely, at least in the offensive zone, I thought, had one of his better games as a Ranger. He didn't have a fantastic game, but he was at least acceptable. I thought he had a couple nice plays in this game, but that one chance where he had all by himself and he couldn't even get the shot off. Come on, man. Come on. I don't know. I still want this experiment to end with Blake Wheeler, because I think if Trocheck and Coley had a better line mate with them, it would do wonders. But that was easily the Rangers' best line. The numbers back it up. The eye test backs it up. The second line I thought was good, especially Panarin. I thought Panarin was easily the Rangers' best forward in this game. Maybe you could argue Will Coley, but I would argue Panarin was the best player for the Rangers, or best forward for the Rangers, because the best player was either Igor or Jacob Trouba, in my opinion. But yeah, the first line, Did not look good at all. Like really bad, honestly. Like concerning bad. But regardless, I thought Truba had a great game. I thought Schneider, wow, the chart says that he had a good game defensively. I don't know about that one. I didn't love Schneider's game really tonight, personally. Gustafson was not great. Lindgren, I would agree, was not great. I would argue Lindgren was worse than Gustafson though in this game. Lindgren looked lost out there without Fox by his side. He did. In terms of other guys, Truba, Coley, Panarin at the top of the list. That I agree with. I thought they did. I thought Miller had a better game than it says. He was throwing some bod tonight too. I thought Keandre Miller had a way better game than what this says. It pretty much all checks out. If you want to check out these cards, hockey stat card. That's all right? Yeah, hockey stat cards on Twitter. But I'm sorry I'm not giving the best breakdown and going too in depth. It was just a whirlwind of a night. I'm exhausted. And yeah, it's hard also to do these post games when you're at the game and you don't get the replays and you don't get to see exactly at some of the angles you don't get to see as well some of the plays that happen. But yeah, I mean, they get the win. The offense needs to get going. That's the moral of the story. It's been the moral of the story for pretty much the entire season now. And yeah, let's hope they could do it against Mini. But yeah, let's get into what you guys are saying in the chat. Not a lot here. And yep, congratulations to Nick. Yet again for that. Very hard, tough win. I got to give credit to the team and Decor because they defended really well after Fox went down. What a game from Truba as well. Hopefully Fox and CHYTIL are okay. I agree with that, Matt. I agree that they stepped up. They stepped up. Yeah, this is another thing, too, that I didn't get into. The lack of forechecking was disturbing at points in this game. Like, you did not... At points, the Rangers really didn't even show any interest in forechecking, it seemed like, because there were times where they were just dumping the puck in and then just backing up to play, to set up in their 1-3-1. Like, I don't want to play that conservative. You got to score some goals here because the Islanders, as good as it was and effective, them trapping, you need to still be able to score goals at the end of the day. But yeah, the forechecking was just not good enough in this game. Yeah, Kakko needs to figure things out. Kakko hasn't done shit. Yeah. He hasn't been good enough. He hasn't been good enough, Dylan. I just don't know why the NHL won't implement a rule where you could activate your scratches during the game if your guys are too hurt to come back. I agree, especially because it's like I said before, because people are like, oh, people or teams would manipulate that, but it's like, no, I don't think so because if a guy, like, all you have to do is just make it that if you activate a guy that's a scratch when someone else gets hurt, they like can't come back in the game. They can't come back in the game no matter what. Yeah, I agree, Matt. It was like a playoff game. It was a chess match. The whistles, though, oh my God, especially the first period. I wanted to put my head through a freaking wall with that first period with how many whistles there were. Crowd was okay, Matt. I wouldn't say it was really electric in this game, but it was okay. It was okay. Granted, it was hard for the crowd to really get into the game because of the fact that there was really no offense on either side. Fox got hurt. The power play wasn't cooking as much as it's been lately. It was a hard game for the crowd to get into. There wasn't much physicality either. So I'm not going to even like fault the fans that didn't get into it in this game because I I couldn't even get into it. I'm the biggest nut job at games. I'm the biggest psycho at games. I couldn't even get into it. I was so deflated, and my mind was so strictly on Adam Fox throughout this entire night. I still feel that way. Like my head's gonna hit the pillow. I'm gonna be looking up at my ceiling, and I'm just gonna be thinking, please, please, just tell me Adam Fox is okay. I'm scared to wake up tomorrow. I'm scared. So that was on my mind. Yeah, and then even then, if like Heedle too, I'm worried about Heedle too. As much as he's not been, necessarily performing the best lately, he, I don't know. You still would miss a guy like that. Still miss a guy like that. Oh, of course I did, Matt. Of course I did. That's an every game thing, but that was in the first period. After that, I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't stomach the Fox injury. I seriously couldn't stomach that injury. I still can't. I'm sick thinking about it. I'm sick thinking about it. People might say I'm overreacting, and I hope we get this. No, I will. This is how much like you saw it out there when he went out. You saw it, especially the power play. I man, oh, please. I hope Schnazzy. I hope, but that just again, like I said earlier, my brain's just wired to think the worst with injuries. It just is. It just is, and I hate it, but it just is that way. But yeah, I don't know how much more really I have to add for this post game outside of the fact that now we got travel again. Like this is just such stupid scheduling. They were just in Winnipeg, come back to the Garden, go to Minnesota, back pretty much right where they were in Minnesota, then come back home. Who made the schedule? But yeah, let's just let's hope that the offense could get going in Minnesota. Hey, they pod 7 against them there last season, so let's hope. Let's hope. This is gonna be a shorter post game recap type video, and I apologize just because of the fact that it was late and everything. I apologize. It wasn't the best, but yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, everyone. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, let's go Rangers.